Hi everyone, it's great to see you again. And if you are new to the channel, my name is Bill Benoist, and I'm all about embracing retirement with my Fuji X-T5 camera. In today's video, it's going to be a short one, but I want to talk about a composition technique called figure to ground. Now, totally recognize that there's going to be some photographers that are watching this right now who know exactly what figure to ground is. And if you're still watching it right now, I want to thank you. Not only does it help my algorithm, but I think it's also really a good reminder of all the composition techniques that we have available to us. Sometimes we forget that we have the rule of thirds, or we have the golden ratio, or we have leading lines, or in this case, figure to ground. So thank you for staying with me. But I also believe that there are a number of photographers, probably beginning photographers, that have never heard of figure to ground. And there's also going to be individuals like myself who used to be into photography many years ago and are now getting it back into it as retirees. In my case, I did a 2-year college degree in 1979 in photography, but then my path took me in different directions. I first went into business, and then I went into technology, career coaching. And once I hit retirement, I started pulling the camera out of the closet and dusting off the cobwebs. But the bottom line is that I never heard the term figure to ground until just about maybe a year ago. And it all came together. And this is what I wanted to just talk about. So figure to ground is a composition technique. And essentially what it means is that we want to essentially give their subject, which is the figure or subject, space that it can essentially speak to us in the photograph. What we're doing is we're essentially trying to separate all the noise to that specific figure. And we can do this in 3 different ways. One is using high contrast photos, usually black and white. Some people can use color, but usually black and white. We can do it through blurring the background or giving a really beautiful bokeh. And another way is essentially using a minimalistic approach. So let me give you a couple of examples here of what I mean. So in this case here, I have a shot of essentially an architecture type of shot building. But where do your eyes go directly? Probably to the building that's being reflected in the window of this other building, because you see that white there. It really brings your attention to that. We have some really crisp whites, and we're surrounded by those black columns. Another shot here, and I just wanted to show this one because you can also do this just with some creative photography that I used, actually some intentional camera movement, and I blended this into Lightroom. I think there was 3 or 4 shots. Yeah, there was 4 shots that I did of this, and I stayed in the same place, and I just moved the camera very quickly. I used about a half a second of exposure. I think it was f11, looking straight up at this water tower. But that once I turned this to black and white, I was able to pretty much get a lot of that light color of the sky. And then we have the dark columns, and we have some of the more white shadows. So this is using contrast. It's not a rule set in stone, but most contrast photos using high contrast, when you're looking at a figure to ground composition, it's going to be in black and white. Another one is this photo here is one where you see that I really blurred the background. Was out doing some street photos. I was actually playing with my Lens Baby Velvet 56, which really creates a beautiful bokeh effect. Couple was walking their dog, this poodle, and I asked him if I could go ahead and take a photo of her, and she loved to pose. Really a fun time there, because she would like dance around and then just stop, and it was like a model working with me. So this is again where you can see the separation from the subject in the background. And then here's a shot of just something, what I would say, very minimalistic. I took this picture. It was with another Lens Baby, actually the Twist 28. And I have some videos on this. I'm going to put a link to in the upper right-hand corner, I actually have a playlist of all of the Lens Baby lenses that I used. And this one I talked about a little bit more in that video. But the main thing is I want you to see that there really is not much of anything in the background that can really distract a viewer's eyes to any place else. So there you go. I hope this was, helpful. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel, hit that bell notification as I do upload new photography videos every week, and I'd hate for you to miss one. Thanks again for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.